question kind of goes back to the administration redundancies that was mentioned earlier. A friend of mine retired recently because she said the admin layer was just crushing the teachers. And she couldn't take it anymore. She taught in the school district for 40 years, and she just had to get out of it. So there's a group of us, I guess of a certain age, who would really like that issue to be addressed. And I guess, can we use some of that money to bring our reading proficiencies up from 50% to 100%? Because we want to see our kids educated.
So first, that's it's unfortunate that your friend decided to retire probably early because of that administrative overload, that administrative burden, making it hard for her to do her job. I support teachers all the way. They need to be given every tool they can to succeed and to teach our children to grow up and to succeed in the future. Part of looking at those costs is looking at that administrative overhead like we were talking about, like I talked about earlier. And that is where I will get out into the weeds and talk with the teachers, make myself available, not just sit back and maybe listen to public comment or maybe have an email. So that's definitely something that I will look at. What was your second part? I'm sorry.
Well, you mentioned the reading proficiency in third graders.
Yes.
And I mean,
Yes.
how is that not more important
Yes.
than admin salaries?
Yes, yeah, so, and no, like you said, yes. So while our reading proficiency levels are higher than, the state average, but they need to be better, right?
Yeah.
We shouldn't be satisfied until they're in the 90s, actually into the hundreds, right? So any money or any cost savings that I vote on or that I authorize as a board member, I want that money to go straight back into our classrooms, straight back into supporting our students.
Similar to Joe, it's sad to hear that your friend who's taught here for so long, who's probably a very high quality teacher, decided to leave because of the administration. I've heard it from another teacher or two that I've spoken with that have had a similar level of frustration of just too much administrative, and it's sad to see. Something that Joe brought up that I'm very supportive of is doing a top-down financial just assessment of where are we spending our money. And do we have too much administration costs, or are we spending too much on it? What's the market rate for administration costs for administrators out in the local area or in the state? And are we above, are we on market, etc.? In terms of using that money for somewhere else, for something else, yes, I think we absolutely should. The dollars in the classroom are the best investment we can get for our money, right? In order to have a school, you got to have essentially three things, right? One, you gotta have students, okay? Two, you have to have teachers. And three, you gotta have a place for to teach them, right? Okay. Those are the big ones, and that's where the money should go. Something just to close out on your focus on reading. I heard this recently, and this is something that I really liked hearing. It came from my aunt, so it's not me, but she said, in all of her experience, she's a really smart lady, she has found that there's been no other greater prediction of a person's success in life than their command of the English language. Especially in a world where there is AI out there, there's more computer generated, whatever, command of the English language will be more important than ever.
I love that. Yes, I really do.
That's my aunt, so it wasn't against my aunt, but I like it.